Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a radial menu like this in Unreal Engine 5, and in this case I can choose animation assets to be played with this menu. And as you can see, this is final result of this tutorial. Alright, for this tutorial I'm going to use some assets, and now I'm going to show you. First is this radial menu that I have downloaded from FreePic, and here I have this in a Illustrator file, and I separated every single part from it, every single section, this part, and all of the other parts. I separated them one by one and exported them in two different versions. One version with high opacity, which is going to be used for normal state, and another one for hovered state, which has a lower opacity. And I'm also going to use some dancing logos for my menu, and I show them to you in the engine. Also I have a full copy of the menu that I exported from Illustrator file that I'm going to use as a reference for creating my menu. And here in the normal folder I have all of the parts and also the center parts with high opacity, and I named them 1, 2, 3 to 6. And here in hovered folder I have all of the parts in here with lower opacity that they are going to be used for hovered state. And I also named them 1-hover, 2-hover to 6. And I also here have some dance logos that I have extracted from this file, which I have downloaded from FreePic. I extracted them and I just changed the color to blue. And I also have downloaded some animations, some dancing animation assets for my character, 6 different dancing animations. And I also have created animation montages from these anim assets. To create any montage from anim asset, you just should right click on the anim asset, and from create select create anim montage. I have named all of my assets with numbers from 1 to 6 because actually my menu is going to have 6 different parts, and I try to keep everything organized with these numbers. Alright, now I right click in content drawer, and from user interface section I create a widget blueprint. I choose user widget and name it radial menu. First I add a canvas panel. Here I search for canvas panel and drag it here, and now I add the image. So I search for image here and add the image here. I anchor my image to the center, set alignment to 0.5 and 0.5, and I place my image into the center, and here I choose full menu file, which I'm going to use as reference. Here I size it up. Alright, I think 650 and 650 is great. Okay, now here I search for button. I drag it here to the canvas panel and I name it center button. Anchor to the center, alignment to 0.5 and 0.5, and in appearances section for image I choose center file, which is actually the center part of my menu. And here in hovered section again I add center, and now I place my center button to the center, just like the reference. All right. Now here I search for a border size, a size box, and connect it to the center button. I select it, and from child layout I check width override and height override and set them to 200. Now I add the overlay. I search for overlay here and add it here, and finally I add an image. Search for image and connect it here. And for this image I'm going to use my channel's logo. And here I can change the location of this image, and finally I place it in the center. Okay, now I have created my center button, and now I'm going to create all of my 6 buttons. So here I search for button again and add it to the canvas panel. I name it button 1, button dash 1, and I anchor it to the center, set alignment to 0.5 and 0.5. I place it here. Alright, and for image in normal state, I'm going to choose the first part of the menu. The file name is 1 actually. Now I set the size to make it just like my reference. Alright, I think now it's fine. And now for hovered state, I search for 1-hovered. Here I add my first part hovered version. Alright, now I add a size box and connect it to the bottom one. I'm just repeating the same process that I done for the center button. I choose size box. Here I check this, set them to 200. Right, now I add the overlay. And finally I add an image. And here for my image, I'm going to use the first dance logo, which is actually this one. Now I size it down, and from translation section I place it here. Alright, I also use this menu selection sound effect for this tutorial, and here I choose my button and I search for sound. Here I have a pressed sound and hovered sound. For hovered sound I choose my menu selection sound effect. I choose it here, and I think I'm done with the button one. Alright, for other buttons, the other parts of this menu, you just have to repeat this process. You can just easily create a duplicate of the button, and I fix the name. I name it button-2, and I just have to fix the location. For example, first I'm going to fix the image. Instead of image 1, I'm going to choose image 2, and also for hovered state I'm going to choose 2-hovered, and also in image section I'm going to use dance 2. Alright, I size it down a little and place it here. Place it down, place it here. Now I should fix the position and scale of the second button. Place it here. Alright, I think now it's okay. I just have to fix the location of this image. I just bring it to the center. Alright, for other parts, for example part 3, 4, 5 and 6, you just have to repeat the same process. Just don't forget to change the size of, change the assets and size of the image, and also the image, just like what I did for the second button, and do all of the parts. Alright, I think this is enough for this tutorial, and in the next tutorial I show you, actually the next episode of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create this widget for your character, and also bind functions to these buttons. Alright, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.